How do we call? He gave us a signal.
What up, Gotham Guardians and Arkham Adversaries? It's your boy Trey of the Bat Channel, and we are live once again from the Bat Cave. Unfortunately, no Super Bro Corey again tonight. He's still taking care of some things. He's been a busy bee, just saving the world every day, just trying to get Henry Cavill back as Superman to return in the DCEU. Please, I guess we'll find out possibly this weekend at DC FanDome. It's going to be good nonetheless. I'm excited for it. How are you guys doing? I see a lot of people in the chat tonight. This is great. I see some Trevor H. I see the Butler Al. It's good to see you. Oracle's Clock Tower. That's a dope logo too. That's really cool. Red Hooded Outlaw, my man. 9 lives in hell here. That is a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool name. I dig that. Geek Studios is in the house, my man. And Steve Kassan, what's up, brother? God, man, it's always good to see Steve on. And Ryan Swayze, 88. Holy batshit. I agree. It's been a lot of craziness with Batman today. We got even Joker's Wild. Koopy Malik in the house. Come on, you already know. Koopy Malik. Yeah, my loyals, Restore the Snyderverse guy, formerly known as Release the Snyder Cut guy. It's good to see you, brother. I think I saw Trevor H. I might have already said that. We got Lucas Ironside in the house. My man. Hey, yeah, I appreciate you, dude, for being here all the time. So, yeah, of course you're in the mods, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Geek Seer says, glad caught you live. I keep missing the notifications. Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot lately. Like even Zod Rider said that. I mean, he's been subscribed to my channel for a very long time. And he had told me that somehow he was like unsubscribed and wasn't even getting notifications and just something weird going on with YouTube. Maybe YouTube doesn't like me. Or, maybe Warner Brothers is trying to shut the man down, but we ain't going to let him. We ain't going to let them. Secret San said, oh, this channel is about Batman and not just all types of. No, sorry. That could be fun. We could do an episode where we like just talk about real bats, I guess, to fit the name. Bat Channel makes sense. We even got DC Restore the Snyderverse guy. Well, Restore the Snyderverse. Restore the Snyderverse guy. You have messed me up with DC Restore the Snyderverse. They have a Facebook page and a YouTube channel. Go check them out. I did a show with Jake and his brother a couple weekends ago, and it was just a blast. Such a great time. Had a wonderful time with them. Koopy Malik says, Batman, what up, bro? Yes, Batman, man. Batman, we're actually going to be doing a live show with Batman this Saturday during our watch party. So, you already know. It's going to be a damn good time, folks. Man, a lot we have to talk about today. But before we begin, make sure you guys smash that like, share. Because the more you share and bring your friends in, the more fun the conversation is. Bring in the Bat family. We're just going to have a hell of a good time tonight. But also help us get to 2K subscribers. You guys recently just got us to 1,200. Thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate it. But the 2K that's our goal for the end of the year. That'd be awesome. I have a goal in mind of how I want to get there and all the things we're going to do. So I appreciate any support that you guys can give us, especially when you hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. That's what we all about. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, as you guys already know, we have our watch party this Saturday, 12:45 p.m. Eastern. We're going to start it 15 minutes early before DC FanDome. Make sure how you guys are doing, check in, let's talk, make sure your guys' stuff is working out. We won't show the DC FanDome panels on our page simply because I don't want the possibility of Warner Media or Warner Brothers coming in and be like, take down the live stream, So I'll probably cut up the watch party after we do all the shows and like break it into sections, with the the Batman trailer reaction that's going to happen, the Black Adam teaser, stuff like that. But we're going to have a few guests, hopefully. Hopefully we can get Super Bro Corey in there. It kind of depends. His schedule is so crazy at the moment. But definitely, if you haven't already, set your reminders for the watch party. All of our super chats that day are going to go to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, because I think last weekend was Mental Health Awareness Day. Pretty sure it was. So definitely set your reminders for that. And like I said, with Super Chat, today it goes into supporting our channel. Just put money right back into it to get better lights, cameras, microphones eventually, and maybe even do some really cool productions for you guys at some point. So Super Chats go a long way. If you have a question that you want to ask us, you can put that in Super Chat and we play a little fun video for those who support us, because, hey, why not? That's what you guys deserve. But hey, oh. I'm going too fast. See, without Super Bro Corey, I go way too fast. But just a quick, little review here. This last weekend, I went to go see No Time to Die and Venom 2 with my Wonder Wife and her brother, Fresto Games. We've had him on the show before. And I'm not gonna lie, No Time to Die was actually really good. I thought it was way better than Venom 2. Did anyone in the chat, did any of you guys see Venom 2, No Time to Die? What's your thoughts? I'm kind of curious. Venom 2 was disappointing. I mean, I think people are crazy about it simply because of what happens at the end. We won't do any spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. I don't want to do that to you guys. So no spoilers in the comments, please, if you'd be so kind. But I think really the biggest hype of the movie was the end credits scene. And like I said, no spoilers, but the rest of the film, I feel like they really disappointed me with Carnage. And you know what I think it was? I think Sony tried so hard to be a PG-13 movie so it could work possibly in the MCU, that they didn't take chances. Because I mean, it's Carnage, right? I mean, I know there's a few villains I know about in the MCU, or at least I should say in Marvel. One of my favorite villains is the Lizard, but the other villain that I always thought, oh man, if they could really just let this character out, and that was Carnage, because he's kind of he's worse than Joker almost, because he literally has zero conscience. I mean, in some comics we've kind of seen the Joker, when he kills the Nazi people, so he kind of has a little bit of a moral code, very, very small, but Carnage, I feel like zero, nada. And I don't think they did so hot with Carnage. And the voice, I didn't think Woody Harrelson was a bad choice. I'm sure Marvel fans would disagree with me on that. But in terms of making his voice kind of lower than even Venom's, I was kind of used to that old video game from PlayStation where it's high pitched and kind of obnoxious. I was kind of expecting to be terrified of Carnage, and I wasn't. I thought it was just silly. That was kind of my impression. But let's see what we got going on in the chat here. Batman says Scoop P. Malik by Snyderverse announcement. I mean, Scoop, it was a good one. Mystery box Scoop, you'll have to see it. Oh yeah, with Sil Abdul show. Yeah, Mikey Sutton's been dropping a lot of stuff. And speaking of, you want to talk about Mikey Sutton? I was on a show with Mikey and Sil 3 or 4 weeks ago, something like that. And we stayed on after the show ended just to kind of hang out and chat with everybody on the panel. And Mikey just, completely spoiled the ending of Venom a couple weeks before the movie came out. So to me, it was kind of a test. Okay, if Mikey Sutton is correct about this, then he has some pretty damn good sources. And sure enough, word for word, exactly how Mikey Sutton said it was going to happen with the post credit scene in Venom 2. That's exactly what happened. So, one, thanks for spoiling that, Mikey. I was kind of not hoping to be spoiled about it. But then again, it's also really cool to finally be like, hey, he was right without question. So yeah, go over and check out Sil Abdul's show, man. Love Sil Abdul with Geekosity and Mikey's son. They're always good stuff. Steve Kassan said saw Venom 2. What'd you think of it, Steve? Did you like it? I mean, and you and I had different opinions on the Suicide Squad movie with James Gunn. And I haven't rewatched it since because I think it's off HBO Max now. Hopefully it comes back, but I still plan on watching it again, kind of through your critique of it to see if maybe I enjoyed it more. But Ryan Swayze says, I saw both of them as well. Venom wasn't that good. Yeah, I agree. I would say Tom Hardy and Venom were awesome again. I mean, they were great from the first movie. But the villain fell way short for me on this. They didn't let there be carnage. They let there be PG-13 carnage. Oh, my man. Hey, Trey. Yeah. Ryan Swayze says Venom 2 should have been way better. Carnage should be epic. I agree. And damn, I also, see, I'm trying not to spoil it again for you guys. Here's a question for you guys. I know we're we're the Bat channel. We talk about things all DC, but as you guys have known, we've kind of expanded to new things like talking about Jurassic Park, Godzilla, because that's something I'm very interested. Ghostbusters, Witcher, a whole bunch of other geek things. I'm trying to decide if it's a good idea to maybe not mix the genres and the topics in the Bat channel and maybe create like a movie review channel. Would you guys be interested in like checking that out or joining that and subscribing to that? I mean, so that way I can talk about these things with you guys. I just partly wanted to, after I saw Venom 2 and was like so disappointed with it, my brother-in-law, who's a big Marvel fan, was like, no, dude, it was great. I loved it. And I was like, nah, man, like it wasn't that good. I don't think it was like not even the top tier of Marvel films. And I know it's Sony, but Koopy Malik says, Batman, okay, I'll schedule right after the stream. Steve Kassan says, when Carnage was on screen, there was tons of potential and promise then. I agree. There was like moments, and I think that was the issue. I was like sitting in the theater waiting to get scared or to have like a jump shock moment with Carnage just because he's gross. He's just crazy villain. And especially you have this psycho killer. And you know what they did to him? Here, this is the one. See, I'm trying not to spoil anything. They did a similar thing with Carnage that they did with Jared Leto's Joker in Suicide Squad in 2016 that I don't think was the right move there. And I'm just, why did they do that? Okay. Batdan says on Still Show, Mikey Sun said that when Sony brought the Spider-Man films rights, part of the agreement was no R-rated movies. Yet, how are they going to do Deadpool? I mean, that's kind of my thing. If Deadpool is going to break that, if they make Deadpool PG-13, get out. Just get out. Batdan says Venom 2 needed to be longer, would have helped a lot. Oh, I agree. They should have really expanded the beginning scenes with the conversations and interviews that Eddie Brock was having with Carnage, to finding all the victims of Carnage and stuff like that. I think that would have been better. I think V2 sucked. I agree. So I'm guessing, judging by what I'm hearing, no one saw, or at least not many saw, No Time to Die. Is kind of what I'm getting at. These Venom movies are basically the Rush Hour movies. Oh man, Steve, that is a great comparison. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is kind of like that. Trey, are you going to see Halloween Kills? Yes, I am. I do like the Halloween movies. I'm not like most, hardcore Halloween fans that loved Halloween 3, the Season of the Witch. I never understood that. I didn't realize they were kind of doing like a genre series, kind of like what they did with Cloverfield in a way. To me, when I saw the newest Halloween, not Halloween Kills, the one before that, I think was it literally just called Halloween? I was super disappointed with that film just because here you go. Jamie Lee Curtis has been, preparing for this moment to see Michael Myers again after 20 or 30 years. And she totally, it looks like she did not prepare that long. You would Michael should have never had a chance if she was preparing 30 years long. So she kind of just made decisions to me as like, really, you planned this long? I doubt it. But so I wasn't planning on seeing Halloween Kills until I saw the trailer and they did that whole, like, I'm going to look into his eyes as I kill him. And she was like ripping off the mask. I was like, damn it. Now I got to see it. That like caught me right there. I was like, yes. So I'm going to have to convince the wife to see that one. It says, yes, I would join. Okay. So some of you would be interested in a movie review channel. When I was in middle school, not terribly long. Well, I guess it's more than 10 years. God, sometimes I forget how old I'm getting. In middle school, I used to write for the newspaper for the middle school, and what I did was movie reviews. So it's kind of fitting that I do this now on YouTube for fun, but I might have to look into it. I might have to do that. Lucas Ironside says, wasn't a fan of Venom 2. The comedy was a bit too much. It should have been perfectly balanced. Yeah, I have that complaint a lot with Marvel films. Batdan says, what I am saying is Sony can't make any R-rated Spider-Man movies that include Spider-Man characters like Venom. Okay, I see what you're saying. Geeksu says, I haven't seen Venom yet or No Time to Die. I definitely recommend No Time to Die, because when I watched, what I'll say about No Time to Die without spoiling anything, to me, I was talking to my dad about it, who's a big James Bond fan, always has been. And I told him that I really liked the movie. And I think the reason why I liked it so much, and I also, with that, I said, you probably wouldn't like it. And I kind of put that in the angle that it's not your James Bond kind of film. He's really not James Bond in this, or at least the stereotypical James Bond that you would see in every movie. He has moments of it, but it's really kind of how Ben Affleck was as Batman. It's an old, run down, kind of broken Batman who is like trying to get back into the game again. And that's how Daniel Craig was. He wasn't quite, constantly womanizing and things like that. It was a very different kind of James Bond that you're not used to seeing. And like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but I thought it was very good and worth seeing in the theaters. And Hans Zimmer's score was pretty good. There was moments of brilliance, and then moments I thought he could have gone a little more risky with it. And it was a good score. I don't think it was the best James Bond score ever. Steve Kassan says, I do want to see No Time to Die in theaters. Same with Halloween Kills and Dune in theaters. Halloween 1 through 5 has gotten 4K reissues from Scream Factory, which is awesome. Oh, I didn't know that. But then again, technically, I think they kind of did what they did with Terminator. And if you still want to watch all the Halloween films, you can, Steve. But I think canon-wise now, with the new films that are coming out, because there's one more coming out after this, I think technically there's the first Halloween movie, and then the Halloween movie that's before Halloween Kills is technically the second one, and Halloween Kills is the third one, and I think Halloween Ends is going to be technically the final film. So I hate when they do that. I hate when they like cut out movies and say it's not canon anymore. So how old am I? I am 27. Yes, 27. Geek Studio says, what up, Malik? Carnage needed to be more psycho. I agree. Yeah, that's why I was disappointed, is because he wasn't psycho enough. He had really one great scene, and they really held him back even during that. So that was kind of disappointing to me. But whatever. Today I'm doing the Orange Zoa drink that Dwayne Johnson's doing. Dwayne Johnson has been on fire lately. He did that rap song. Did anyone see the rap song that Dwayne Johnson did? It was actually pretty good. The man can rap. Well, he could. Was Maui from Moana, which was pretty good too, which was basically kind of him rapping, I guess you could say, in a musical way. But no, it was actually a pretty good song. I dug it. That one's pretty good. The orange one is good. So I think orange and superberry and the original one are my favorites so far. Still, the lemon lime is not great. Well, I think the next flavor I'm going to try is Saturday. and it's going to be the pineapple one, pineapple coconut, I think. We'll see how that one is. We've been kind of reviewing the Black Adams energy drinks, and so far they're pretty good. Lucas Ironside said Skyfall is my favorite James Bond. Skyfall was pretty badass. Casino Royale was good. I mean, all the James Bond, films. I mean, Quantum Solace wasn't that great, but it was still good. 27, damn, I just turned 50. Congrats on the 5-0, my man. Hey, in my book, you're still young because I have a rule that says you don't turn old until you get to triple digits. I choose to believe that, okay? So when I get there, I don't feel old. Steve says, true, Halloween 2, 4, 5 is really the Dr. Loomis show. Oh, yeah. Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills and Ends is about Laurie Strode. It's a choose your own path. Yeah, that's a great way. See, Steve, man's on it. You need to be sponsored by Zoa for the channel. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's partly, no, I'm just kidding. That's not why I'm doing. I'm actually doing it to taste them out to see which ones I like, because I like the fact that they are 0 sugar and like calorie. Well, I mean, they have a few calories, but 3 carbs, and I'm trying to go on a diet, trying to get healthy, so I can look like Ben Affleck one day, Ben Affleck from Batman v Superman, just to make the wife be like, yeah, Wonder Bat. I turned 29 last month. Hey, my man, 29. Koopy Malik says, if they toned down Carnage, wonder how Moon Knight would be like. That should better be R-rated, a PG-13 Moon Knight. I'll be honest with you, my father-in-law is probably gonna be pissed at me right now because he's a huge Moon Knight fan. I've never read a single Moon Knight comic. I only know what my father-in-law has said to me about it. But once again, I'm the DC guy, he's the Marvel guy. He tells me the Marvel themes, and I just nod my head and go, cool, that's what's going on. Says, thank you, brother. Yeah, no problem, man. So interesting. Good to know that you guys, at least I'm kind of seeing the similar thoughts about Venom 2. I was disappointed in the villain. I wish they let Carnage be actual Carnage, and right now he was kind of Carnage Light or Carnage Zero. I don't know. But DC Games updates with Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Man, as they're preparing for DC fandom, they're starting to go crazy on all of, the promos and stuff for that. One being, look at this. Some of the cool, they're sending out some boxes, I think, to some gamers who have some big channels and stuff like that. A little care package with the Court of Owls mask, a newspaper from Gotham Gazette with the whole Bruce Wayne dead that we saw in that one previous picture. They're doing the whole no one dares to whisper their name, creating all this sinister with the Court of Owls. And I guess on Snapchat, you can put the Court of Owls mask on. So some cool things coming up. They're finally gearing up for the Gotham Knights game, which this one I believe is being done by Warner Brothers Montreal Games, who did Arkham Origins. But then the next one, which is the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, that's being done by Rocksteady, who did the Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City games. And this one is technically, if I heard correctly, supposed to be part of the Arkhamverse. So the Harley Quinn in this game is the Harley Quinn that was in Arkham Knight and stuff like that. So Joker would be dead, in her, in her history. And their promos for this game is getting me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting hyped for this game. I literally did this whole thing where it said, the do not text or call this number. I texted the number, and this is what I got. This is Amanda Waller. Do you have Argus clearance to be speaking with me? If not, click the link and register. You're officially in our system, but don't expect me to answer you right away all the time. I'll get back to you when I get back to you. Message frequency will vary. There you go. Gosh, I'm having a tongue twister. It's been a long day at work, guys. But it's actually pretty cool. It's pretty dope. Like literally when you listen to that whole thing, she's like, Amanda Waller basically tells you, I only, answer for the president. So take, chill. I'm not going to answer you right away. So yeah, Kill the Justice League is officially in my phone. I did it. It's cool. You can find it on their Twitter, Suicide Squad RS, I think it is, from Rocksteady Games. And it's pretty dope. I'm digging it. Let's see here. I think I missed a few of your guys's Batman says Steve Kassan, like Zack Snyder's movies, take a different path. One leads to John's Hamadaverse, the other leads to the full Snyderverse. Steve Kassan says, isn't Moon Knight going to be part of the MCU Disney Star lineup where they allow more mature offerings? I did hear that the Moon Knight is happening. Was it only going to be on Disney Plus though? I think it was supposed to be on Disney Plus, so maybe that gives them the option to be rated R. I mean, certainly if Deadpool's now part of the universe, I don't see them being able to make Deadpool PG-13. I know Ryan Reynolds kind of did that with a Once Upon a Deadpool, but I mean, to me, the R-rated version is still the way to go for Deadpool, right? Are you on Discord, Trey? I am Geek Studios. I think Sil Abdul also has a Discord that I partly, hang out on. And I mostly use it for when I play Injustice 2 mobile. Yeah. I'm not on there a ton, but you can hit me up on there. You can reach out to me on Twitter. I'll give you my, whatever it's called, account name. Steve Khan says, Batdan, so just need to follow Halloween's example. Then there's H2O, which is a sequel to Halloween 2 that connects them as siblings. That's actually one thing I'm a little bummed about with the new Halloween movies. I liked the idea of Laurie Strode being related to Michael Myers, and I also liked her niece, right? The little niece, who was in Halloween 4 and 5. I loved those movies. I thought they were great. I thought it was a great story overall for the Halloween films. Or you could go the Rob Zombie route, which were crazy films. A lot of disturbing things in those. Got to hit it. Good night, brother. Good night. Thank you for stopping by, bro. I really do appreciate it. Gisu says, yes, Moon Knight is only on Disney Plus. I saw a leaked photo, I believe, of the suit, a little bit of the suit, and it looks good. Steve Kassan says it is, but wasn't the mature offerings of the MCU will be like pushing the limit of PG-13? That's what I heard anyway. I heard the same thing about Carnage, that Carnage was going to be pushing the limits of PG-13, and maybe one scene does push the limits, but it was still not rated R stuff at all. Punisher reboot will be on Hulu. I did hear about that. I hope is it John Bernthal, who was the Punisher on the Netflix series? I haven't finished all that series, but I thought he did an incredible job. Yep. Ryan Sweezy says, Trey, what are your thoughts on The Dark Knight Rises? Man, great question. Wasn't expecting it. Dark Knight Rises, I think it's fantastic. And I struggle with trying to decide if I like Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises more. And the reason of that is I think Dark Knight Rises is a bit of nostalgia for me, is that most trilogies, the third movie is usually not as good, or I mean, sequels in general are just usually not as good. And with Dark Knight Rises, I thought it was a picture perfect ending for that entire trilogy. So I loved it even more for that reason. So, and I loved the character arc that Batman goes through on that. I mean, he didn't really go through much of a character arc in The Dark Knight. He kind of held his ground and was the symbol he needed to be. And his perception was the character growth, to the, people of Gotham. But yeah, I loved Dark Knight Rises personally. Steve Kassan says, we need to get confirmation from Mikey. I agree. Someone call Mikey up and get him on our show with Sil Abdul. I would dig that. Bob Iger said, confirmed Deadpool going to be R-rated. He knows the fans be angry it wasn't. Yeah, I'd be pissed. My dad would be pissed. Dadpool would be pissed. Yep, John Birdpaw. Okay. Even Feige confirmed it. Okay, good. Steve Kassan said, right, this Halloween franchise branches off two different ways from the first film, has a spinoff in the same universe, has a multiverse of sorts with zombies films, and caps off with Halloween 20. I did watch Halloween 20 quite a few years ago, and yeah, I listened to Jamie Lee Curtis's whole thing about Halloween 20, and what was that, Halloween Resurrection, and that whole chestnut about how she was like planning on like, okay, if I'm doing this movie, I'm gonna kill the Shape, Michael Myers. and they didn't let her do it. And they didn't tell her though until like right before, like everyone was on set ready to film. They're like, hey, it's in the contract, you can't kill Michael Myers. And she was like, well, this is bullshit. I guess next movie you're killing me off. Poor Laurie Strode. Because Ryan was going to leave Deadpool when didn't get his ways if it wasn't rated R. Good for Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he stole the suit, you know. Ben Affleck tries to get the suit, and they're like, sure, give us $250K for the Batman suit from Batman v Superman. He was like, I'll just take the Batarang. And then you got Ryan Reynolds, who's like, I've been fighting for this movie for 10 years. Screw you. I'm taking the suit. Mad props. But hey, man, these games for DC FanDome, the new DC games are looking really good. I can't wait. I plan on getting both. For sure. I'm gonna see how I can possibly stream it and maybe play it, and so you guys can watch and maybe get a few people in to join us when we play those, because I'm stoked for that. I'm sure Super Bro Corey would join me for that too. But some good stuff. One thing that happened today that I was like, actually, like, damn, this is cool. Season 3 Killer Croc revealed for Batwoman. Now, I'll be fully honest with you guys. I stopped watching Batwoman after, I think I got to like, was it the 10th episode of season 1? And I stopped because I had started it late, and I found out that the one girl, I'm totally Ruby Rose, I think, she left as Batwoman. And I was like, well, then there's no point in watching it. And then they're like, oh, cool. And when I heard like the whole mess that was like, how are they going to explain that Ruby Rose's characters, Kate Kane's gone? You know, I was kind of like, that sounds like a mess. I don't want to watch it. Especially the CW shows in general just gave a bad taste in my mouth, the whole Arrowverse. So I stopped watching a lot of the CW shows. But I mean, I can't really blame myself after hearing about the Flash with the lightsabers, lightning lightsabers, whatever you want to call them. It's gone down so hill. But have any of you guys been watching Batwoman? I saw the suit for Luke Fox as Batwing, and man, it looks good. They're doing some good stuff with the suits. Another thing they're doing a really good job, man, Killer Croc. Look at this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have to be honest. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love this Killer Croc design more than the Suicide Squad one that David Ayer did. And not that there was anything wrong with the David Ayer one, I just wanted a little more animalistic, you know, the Killer Croc that we're used to seeing from the comics, or hell, even the Arkham games, you know, and honestly, something bigger than human size. And I know this is pretty much human size Killer Croc, but man, the prosthetics on this is pretty awesome. I'll give CW credit this. Normally they're known for shitty suits. This is actually pretty good. This is pretty spot on. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Geek Suits. Oh no, my bad. Bat Dan. Hopefully I can get a PS5 by then. Oh God, right? Yeah, I own both an Xbox One and a PS4. I bought PS4 for my wife because that's what she was used to, and that's what her brothers have. So I bought it for her so she could, you know, play it with her brothers when they were, because they used to live overseas. But I did play the Spider-Man game. The Spider-Man game was really great. I didn't play the Miles Morales one. I think he had a PS5 for that. I'm not sure. But which one aside? Xbox, was it Xbox? Is it Xbox One X? I think. Can't even remember what it's called now. Or PS5. I can't decide which one I'm going to get. I definitely getting the games on day one. Nice, Geek Studios. Nice. Are you at 1,000 subs yet, Geek Studios? I know you're getting close, my man. Let me know. Definitely, guys, if you haven't already, check out Geek Studios. He's a good guy. Check out his channel. Killer Croc, sweet. I need to watch Batwoman on HBO Max. I know. Is it bad that because of Luke Fox and his suit and this Killer Croc thing, it's making me go like, I might check back into Batwoman and try to catch up, because that looks really good. Ryan signed a 17 appearance deal for Deadpool. You're joking, right? You're joking. Steve, don't play with my emotions like that. Don't play with my emotions. My brother, please. if he really, I mean, I agree. Here's what I'll say about Ryan Reynolds. It's kind of like Hugh Jackman, where I'm glad they're taking their time to kind of recast Wolverine. I know it's going to happen at some point, but it's like Robert Downey Jr. for me. Robert Downey Jr. was perfect as Iron Man, I think. And I think Ryan Reynolds is the same exact way with Deadpool. That's just like one dude you can't recast because perfect, right? He basically is Deadpool. I couldn't bring myself to watch Batwoman. Yeah, I understand. I mean, the CW shows just haven't been all that good, but I think, is Batwoman technically CW still, or is that HBO Max? I know they had it on HBO Max for a while. Let's see. Lightning lightsabers. I only watch Superman and Lois. Yeah, I hear that's good. I need to watch Superman and Lois. I'm still behind on Titans. I gotta catch up, man. I think I'm on like episode 4 of Titans. Which I still have my same feelings towards Titans, where it's a hit or a miss. Sometimes they do a great job with it, and other times I'm like, could have been better. Batman said, I stopped watching Batwoman beginning of season 2. It was so bad. Really? No, Batman, don't tell me that, bro. CW Killer Croc actually looks cool. I agree. Geek Studios season 3 of Batwoman going to get HBO Max budget. I heard that would be great. I mean, a little bit of budget goes a long way, but in all honesty, it's not so much budget when it comes to these CW shows. It's just the story. They just got to get the story right. Batman. I mean, look at Titans. They have a great budget, and I feel like with the story with them it's up and downs. I mean, a lot of the times there's like moments where it's like so good and you're like, yes, this is what I want, and then they completely kill it. So I can't decide if those moments are so good that it's worth watching Titans, but I don't know. CW Killer Croc looking this good. What is one bold prediction you think will happen at DC FanDome? One bold one, I think I'm a lot on track with Mikey Sutton over at Geekosity with Sil Abdul show. I think we're gonna get Henry Cavill news. I think he's gonna show up and at least announce that he's going to be a part of the Flash. I think they're going to keep the Black Adam cameo secret. And as Mikey Sutton said earlier today that Dwayne Johnson's probably going to tease that there's going to be Superman in his movie, but I don't know if that's going to be part of me wants to say they're going to announce releasing the Ayer cut, and they may very well. I just don't know. Part of me is like, yes, they're absolutely going to release the Ayer cut. My issue is I don't know if they're going to announce it at DC FanDome because of the regime. And when you think about it, the moment they announce the Ayer cut, I think it rivals the hype to the Batman, to Black Adam, which obviously those are the Batman they're banking on, right? Warner Brothers is hoping the Batman's going to do well, which I think it will. Great question, Jake. I hit 1K today, but it glitched with the numbers. I got my community tab today too. Geek Studios, my man. Congrats, bro. That's fantastic. I'm so happy for you, dude. Well deserved. Congratulations. Batman says Batwoman is CW. New Warner Brothers produced CW shows go to HBO Max as opposed to Netflix. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. CW preaches too much of their left-wing politics. Whether or not I agree with the issue, don't need it shoved down my throat. I haven't watched enough of CW lately for that to even know if that's what they're doing anymore. Batman. I think the Batman will be fine with the Ayer cut announcement. Yeah, I think it will too. I mean, just because Batman stands alone and holds up to the hype. I mean, it's Batman. It's always going to do well. Unless if they give Robert Pattinson some bat nipples on his suit. I think that movie's going to be fine. I think it's easily going to break $1 billion. Apparently they had a test screening earlier that was really fire, and people are just nonstop rave reviews about it. People just love it, and I think it's going to be a great movie. I think it's going to be different with it being kind of the noir style. The only issue right now, well, two issues I have with the Batman is one, I'm not crazy about the suit still. It's not my favorite Batman suit ever. It's not bad. I understand it's year 2. People keep telling me, well, dude, it's year 2. He's building it. And to me, it's like, okay, but Batman Begins built his suit too. And I thought that suit was cooler looking than this one. So I understand that. People keep telling me, it's year 2, bro. I get it. I'm not a fan of it. You go enjoy it. I also don't like the Batmobile. Well, I mean, it's not bad, but once again, it's so realistic that it's just not, it's not glorious to me. It's not a Batmobile. It's just a regular car, muscle car, basically. But I also don't like how realistic, I guess it kind of ties in all together. I'm not crazy about how realistic and grounded they're making the Batman, because to me, we're just making it another Dark Knight trilogy with, Nolan verse. I kind of want something that allows Battinson to go up against other rogues gallery like Clayface, some of the ones that aren't so realistic and down to earth. Poison Ivy, maybe eventually. Freeze, I don't care. Just something that's not so grounded like Joker, Riddler, which I think the kid who's doing Riddler is going to do a phenomenal job. He looks great. I'm digging what they're doing with him, but I just hope that it doesn't stay this realistic. I'm guessing they're going to do a Court of Owls thing with the sequels, and I hope with the Court of Owls that they go into the Talons and all the creepy stuff they do, and not so much that they're just a political superpower in the shadows. I hope they don't go so realistic with them. Geek Studio says, thank you so much, Trey. I appreciate you guys a lot. I did share your stream out. Thank you, sir. It's always great when you guys support us that way and get more of your friends involved, because like I said, the more people in the chat, the more fun we have. Bad Dan says Arkham Origins was also year 2. Was it also year 2 in Arkham Origins? God, if that's the case, once again, Arkham Origins was a cool suit too. That I know that's a video game, but yeah, I actually liked Arkham Origins. I thought that was a good game. Obviously not as good as Arkham Knight, but I liked it. Larry Holmes, my man. What's up, Trey? Speaking of Batman, if that story of the runtime being 3 hours long is true, that should not be cut. Let us see the whole vision. Are you talking about of Matt Reeves, the Batman? I did hear rumors of that 3-hour cut. They're going to cut it down. They are. This is what every studio does. Warner Brothers is definitely horrible at it. When it comes to, the Suicide Squad film, with David Ayer's Suicide Squad 2016, they sent it to a trailer company to cut it up, and made it what it was, which I even think that film wasn't horrible compared to other DC films that had come out. But in terms of that, Warner Brothers, every studio cuts the film down, because the idea is the more showings they can have throughout the day, the more people can go see the movie, and therefore more people, more money, more showings, and stuff like that. So I understand it. They're going to cut it down, though. My guess is they're going to try to keep it under 2.5 hours at least. Hopefully they don't mess with Matt Reeves' vision, though. Ryan says, I hear you, Trey. There should be an element of fantasy. Yeah, that's to me, it's like we already got the realism. We already got the grounded Batman that could exist in our real world, and it was phenomenal. It was great. Give me something new, and to me, that was Ben Affleck's Batman. That's why Ben Affleck's Batman is my favorite Batman, live action Batman of all time, because we could have gotten that. There was a Killer Croc in his universe. There was villains that were fantasy, kind of otherworldly characters, rather than just grounded people. So hopefully they allow, or Matt Reeves has the vision to go to that extra mile. And maybe that's the idea. Maybe it's to give this the realism, hit of Batman. And then the challenge for Batman in the next sequels are he's having to deal with something that isn't realistic. That could be interesting. I want Mr. Freeze. He needs a big screen redemption. I would love to see Mr. Freeze have maybe the next Joker-like film that Todd Phillips do. Mr. Freeze or Bane. I think those are two great villains that have enough deep backstory that they could make a solo film like they did with Todd Phillips' Joker. I think that'd be a really cool idea. Larry says, yes, Matt Reeves' brother, and that sucks, bro. Yes, Matt Reeves' brother, and that sucks, bro. Maybe I lost our conversation. Sorry, it's been a long day. I need to drink more of this, apparently. Okay. Lucas Ironside. Such a cool name. I know I say that every time. And to me, Batfleck is my number one Batman, but Robert Pattinson is going to do an amazing job, and I can't wait to see the movie. I agree. I think he is going to do a really good job. When I first heard Robert Pattinson was casted as Batman, obviously I was pissed off because to me it was like the movie we're going to get with Ben Affleck was going to be amazing. Everyone who has read the script, talked about the script, said it was the best Batman movie ever written. To me, it's like, well, shit. I have no doubt Matt Reeves is going to do a good job. And this is Matt Reeves' movie. He's not using anything that Ben Affleck wrote for his movie. So Ben Affleck, if HBO Max does want to do it and do a multiverse thing like they keep saying they're going to do, they can easily do a Make the Batfleck movie series. I don't care how they do it. I would love to see Deathstroke, Batgirl, all of that. Just give me all the Batman content, right? Geek Sues, I want Poison Ivy done right. I want to see Matt Reeves. I want to see what Matt Reeves would do. Yeah, I agree. Larry Helms, I mean them cutting the movie. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Matt Reeves has a lot of power and a lot is riding on this movie because, I mean, think of it in this way. Warner Brothers is coming off Birds of Prey, which was Suicide Squad, which didn't do well in the box office, didn't make him a lot of money. The Suicide, I already said the Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, that didn't do well in the box office. Wonder Woman 1984, which wasn't Wonder Woman 1984's fault because that one really was in the pandemic. So 3 films essentially that did not do so hot in the box office. And really, I know people get upset with me about it, but I throw in Shazam in that group too, where it didn't do amazing in the box office. I know they say, dude, it was successful. It made its money back. Okay. Yes, you are right. It did make its money back, but the budget was so low on it. Of course they were going to make their money back. But a $300 million box office for a superhero film is not something to praise. Even Marvel's films on their worst day do about 500 million. So I don't know if DC can really look at Shazam and say that was a success. And I liked the Shazam movie. I thought it was a good movie for that character. Was it my favorite DC film ever? No, but it was good. It was good for what it was. Batan says, give us Ben Affleck's Batman v Deathstroke project. It's the only solo Batfleck project we need. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Zachary, my man, how you doing? Good to see you, Zach. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen you. Studios don't make movies just to break even. Exactly. Yeah, and that's what, I mean, like you said, I think Shazam made double 10. Well, technically they made what the budget was on top of it, for profit. So I just don't consider Shazam a huge box office success like Warner Brothers tried to spin it as, because like I said, 300, I think it was like 330, 350 million for a $120 million movie. That's not successful. Studios, Zachary. Yes, it has been. Well, it's good to see, bro. So yeah, Killer Croc is looking pretty badass for the CW verse. I'm digging this, but let's get to the craziness today. It was a lot of Batman news. Batman for DC fandom, they're getting ready. And like I said, Warner Brothers banking on Batman. They're really hoping that this kills it for them, that this is going to be the hype engine that just goes in fucking insane for them. They need it to. They need this movie to make $1 billion or get real. Me personally, if this film doesn't break $1 billion, then it's a failure. I think that's the case, because when you look at Aquaman was $1 billion film. This is Batman. Okay. And not only that, you got Matt Reeves doing it, who's a brilliant director, and Robert Pattinson, who is definitely holding his own through the recent films that he's been doing lately. You got to drop the Twilight out of your mind. No more Twinkle Bats. I know people keep calling them Twinkle Bats for a joke. I agreed at that, when I first heard of his casting, but I think he's actually going to do a really good job. Everything I'm hearing from him, it sounds really good. And one of the things they released for the Batman today, I'm going to give you guys a little play at it.
It's not just a signal. It's a warning. It's not just a signal. It's a warning.
Okay. So we got a little more of the Battinson name, Battinson voice. Sorry, not name, Battinson voice. And he's sounding good, my man. We got the I'm vengeance. No, it's not just a signal. It's a warning. I like it. I dig it. I mean, I saw someone post like, why is Batman so threatening? He shouldn't be threatening. Like, huh? Get out of here with that. Like, what are you talking? Batman shouldn't be threatening. Batman should freak out criminals, man. The bat signal, I'm glad they're going to have that. I love that it's playing into the story. I'm curious to see, is it a part of GCPD? Because it kind of looks like from the first trailer that we got at last DC FanDome that the cops aren't exactly happy with Batman, that they're not quite on the same team. It's really just James Gordon, which I know that was kind of similar to Batman Begins, but I'm curious to see where this bat signal is and if it's, how's the police relationship between him and the crime fighter and Cape Crusader Batman. I'm curious to kind of see what that's about. Little Paul says, first off, hi, Little Paul. I don't think we've had you here before, so thank you for being here on the show, my man. Really do appreciate it. Who would you pick to be for sequel villains? Great question. Well, for the second one, I would, without question, do the Court of Owls. I think they're already kind of building into it to where that would be a great villain to kind of to go off of. One of the theories that I have about this movie is with the Riddler, when he says to Batman or Bruce Wayne that you're a part of this too, and he says, how am I a part of this? You'll see. I think, and part of the riddle, whereas what do liars do when they die or something like that? And the answer is they'll lie still. And I think that's a double play on words. So obviously they lie still on the ground, right? But I think they lie as they're lying to people still. So I think secrets and bones in the closet are still affecting Gotham City. There's years of lies that have corrupted Gotham. And I think when you think of corruption, that's Court of Owls. But more importantly, I think they're going to do something that was first introduced, I want to say, in the Batman Telltale games, where Bruce's parents were actually corrupt. His father, more specifically, was corrupt and part of the problem of Gotham City. With all the mobsters and stuff like that. He was a criminal himself. I think that's going to be true for Bruce's parents in this film. My hope is that while I loved the Telltale games and thought that was like a very cool idea, and I dug it, my hope is that, and I kind of hoped this in the games as well, that Bruce's parents, you would end up finding out that they were framed. They weren't the corrupts, that maybe they were the ones trying to save Gotham, and the Court of Owls used this as an opportunity to take them out, and frame them for secrets to buy them time while they control Gotham. So I think we'll learn that in the movie, that Bruce's parents were part of the corruption, and that it will trickle into the Court of Owls, and that maybe it'd be kind of cool if maybe Riddler is killed by the Court of Owls, because he was starting to reveal their secrets, So, I mean, I think, Court of Owls would be a cool villain. For the third movie, I don't know. It kind of depends on the direction they're going with this movie. If they want classic, like realistic villains, then I think it's kind of, I know we've had so many Jokers, but at some point with any Batman, I think Joker's imperative to Batman's character, because they are polar opposites. And I like when Batman is tempted to break his moral codes because Joker is taunting him. And that, to me, I love that Joker challenges him in that way. And I think their relationship together really defines Batman's character even more. And I would love to see them do maybe a Killing Joke story at some point. If they're going in a realistic setting for the Batman, Matt Reeves verse. But other than that, I would really love to see Clayface. I wanted to see Clayface. I'm with Mikey Sutton on that one. I wanted to see Clayface for a while. Um, there's some other villains that I think would be really, really cool that are kind of from some of the more recent comics. But I mean, no, we'll have to see. Once I see the first movie, I might have a better idea of what I want to see from it. But great question, Lil Paul. Bad Dan says, do you think the ultimate edition of BVS Dawn of Justice would have been $1 billion in theaters? Bad Dan, man, you and we're like so on the same wavelength when it comes to this. Great question, dude. I don't know. I don't know if it, and here's my reason. Part of me says yes, because it was a far better movie and the story wise was way smoother than the theatrical edition. The reason why I have doubts about it is because to me, part of the failure, if you can call it a failure, because when you think about it, it was almost a $900 million film. Like you can't say it was a failure at that time. Success, right? It made good money. It just wasn't up to the success that Warner Brothers had in mind. So with the Ultimate Edition, I think even with the theatrical edition, what hurt the box office of that movie was the type of marketing they were doing for this movie, the type of idea that it was going to be this fight night, Batman going up against Superman in the boxing match, and I mean, I have one friend who criticizes the movie all the time, and his issue was like, yeah, the Batman fight scene was 10 minutes long. That wasn't long enough. And to me, it's like, good God, did you really want like a 30-minute fight scene? I mean, that gets boring, right? I mean, it's why I'm a Godzilla fan. I can tell you a 30-minute fight scene all in one, shot is kind of Jesus. You have to have a little bit of a story going on in there. And I think people weren't prepared for the story that BVS was, where it was really going to challenge the characters. And to me, I love character development. I love story over action. Action is important, but I want to see a story really take place. And I love a story that makes you think a bit. And for me, it did that. I don't think the audience was ready for that, which is why I think a lot of people look back on BVS and say, oh man, it was actually a really good movie, especially the Ultimate Edition. It still amazes me when you get some people are like, Ultimate Edition? What are you talking about? Get out. And it's like, see the better movie. I don't even watch the theatrical edition anymore. And I liked the theatrical edition when I first saw it, because to me, I understood what was going on. I didn't need the extra parts in it, but the fact that they're there in the Ultimate Edition makes it all the more better. Lucas Ironside says his voice reminds me of Keaton's Batman. Okay, I hear you. I'm picking what you're putting up down. Zachary says Jarvis Tech, the Mad Hatter, and flashbacks of Bruce Wayne when he was a kid to see what link of relationship Batman had with his mom, Martha Wayne. Yeah, that could be cool. Lucas Ironside says the same people who hated Batfleck for being dark is the same people who's going to hate Battinson. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I'm seeing more people being accepting of Battinson than they are Ben Affleck. I mean, Battinson, the only thing he had really against him was Twilight, which he hated those films himself, Super Bro Corey, I miss you, dude. I know you're busy. I do miss you, dude. I hope all is well. Hope you're kicking ass and taking names. Zachary says, what kind of relationship was like between Bruce Wayne, Martha Wayne, mother or son relationship? Or is that a question, or is that like what you want to see in the movie? Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of answer if you are asking the question. I think, yeah, their relationship is important. I don't see a lot of people hate when, and I understand it's because we've seen it so many times, but I think it's good to re-see a death scene, like in other words, Uncle Ben dying in Spider-Man. One of the things I don't like with Tom Holland is they really haven't addressed the whole with great power comes great responsibility theme. With Batman, I think it's super important to see the death of his parents, especially if it's a new Batman, right? Because Batman is tortured by that. It's what sets him off on this mission of fighting crime, this war of crime that he has. And to me, it's always good to it doesn't need to be long, but like if you can sit down in that theater and then all of a sudden see that scene to remind yourself, get it back in your head of what happened to this kid, so you get those feelings back. Because I think if you're just a comic book fan or just, Batman, right? Everyone knows Batman, his parents died, and you just go in there and you just watch the movie and you don't see that again. I don't think it's relevant in your mind right away. I think you just go along for the ride of the story. And to me, I like to be put back in that place that says, this is what happened to Bruce that sent him off on this path that turns him a little crazy. I mean, think about the amount of dedication this man has to fighting crime and to putting his body through all the sacrifice that and the pain that he has to go through. It's good to remind yourself that this is why. I don't mind seeing the death scene. And to me, if they did have an issue with that, I mean, in my opinion, the best Bruce Wayne's parents' death was BVS. The way Zach filmed that cinematically, straight out of Dark Knight Returns of Frank Miller, but more importantly, the emotions that in the music from Hans Zimmer, A Beautiful Lie, like perfect. To me, it was like, oh, I got the chills just thinking about it. And it just puts you back in that place of that boy who felt so helpless, and powerless, that this is why he had to do this. The quarter hours would be, I think so too. Ryan, I think this is your first time as well. Welcome, sir. Ryan Gentle Giant Cinematics. That's a dope ass name. I am looking forward to Matt Reeves, the Batman, and a Batfleck movie, and hearing that teaser makes me hyped for the Batman most until they announce the Batfleck movie. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I don't think there's anything wrong. So there's so much divide in this community right now, and I understand. I understand. You even hear Ray Fisher, who recently said Walter Hamada hasn't apologized to anyone in the Justice League cast. Walter Hamada needs to do that, okay? Because Ray Fisher, I think, is a great actor, and he's been very vocal and honest about what happened. Everyone else has been secretive about it. They need to fix that situation with Ray Fisher. And I understand why he's like, I'm not going to support anything Warner Brothers does. I feel that too. I feel it with the Batman film too. I'm not going to lie to you guys. To me, it's a bit of a bittersweet thing. I'm a huge Batman fan. I want to be all for this movie. I think it's going to be wonderful. And I am very supportive of this film, but there's a little part of me that's a little tarnished about it because, one, it should have been Ben Affleck's Batman movie, technically, before Ben Affleck was like, I don't want to work with Warner Brothers. I'm out. And obviously he was going through personal problems. That's going to be in the back of my mind when I see this movie. But all things considering, like I said, I think Matt Reeves is going to do a great job. I think Robert Pattinson's going to do a great job. I'm a Batman fan. I'm going to see this movie. It's a little tarnished. Mad Hatter, Clayface, yeah, all great villains. I want me Mr. Freeze. Hell yeah. Batman says, I've never seen the theatrical version of BVS, even though I own it since it was in theaters. Oh, that's crazy. How did you not just even see Batman v Superman in the theaters then? Like, it's amazing. Especially for you, Batman. I was like thinking, like, man, this guy probably saw all the Batman movies possible. Larry Holmes says, I've seen someone on the internet make Vin Diesel Mr. Freeze, and it didn't look bad. I don't think Vin Diesel would be the right Mr. Freeze. I saw Mark Strong fan art, and I thought that was brilliant. I think he'd be great. Batman said, didn't people complain about Man of Steel having too many fight scenes? Yeah, they did. And even though when you think about it, there's a lot of slow moments too. And I don't mean slow as in like, oh my God, this story is dragging on. There's character development moments for Man of Steel, but yeah, I think Man of Steel had a very long fight sequence. I think it was longer than 12 minutes. So all things considering, like, yeah, when it comes to Superman, guys, I think it's really silly. I don't think people can quite decide what they want from Superman, because when you think about it, people got pissed off about the Superman Returns movie with Brandon Routh because it didn't take enough chances. It wasn't risky enough. It was just Christopher Reeve Superman continued, which that's what it was. And then Man of Steel comes out and they're like, whoa, you took, like, this is too risky. I just want my classic Superman. And it's like, what the hell do you want? Like, decide, I don't know. It's kind of silly with all the issues that Superman tends to have as a cinematic property. I have a friend who saw the Ultimate Edition of BVS and he said Superman was greedy. What? That makes zero sense to me. He's gonna have to explain that. What I would want to see in the movie, yeah. At least what if mentioned Uncle Ben. I need to catch up on What If. I haven't seen that episode. I still haven't seen the Ultron one that everyone's talking about. You remember the book Batman Haunted Knight? I don't know if I've read that one. Was that a graphic novel or was it like a non-graphic, not a comic? Was it like one of the just a regular books? I do have, I think, was it Batman? Oh God, I'm totally spacing the name of it. Is it Bat? No, I can't remember. Whoops. Passing things. Man, you guys are really chatty tonight. I love it. DC Restored Sniper says, hope to get the rest of the stream goes awesome. Like, comment, and subscribe. I got to go, but keep up the good fight. Thank you so much, Jake. I appreciate it, bro. It's always good to see you, man. Nicotina in the house, my man. How you doing, bro? Didn't you have a show earlier? God, man, you're just jumping around today. Were you doing something with the Four Nerds? I saw you post something. I always feel bad because either when you like come on your stream and then when I try to, it's either when I'm like preparing for my show and I'm trying to get things ready, or it's like when I'm at work and stuff like that. I try to check in at least after the fact. But I hope all is well, brother. Batman says, I saw it in theaters 3 times. I mean, since then, I haven't seen the theatrical. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Gotcha, bro. Let's see. Little Paul says, I guess not too sad. I realized it was supposed to be Ben's movie, but I didn't really enjoy his version, so I'm glad we are moving away from it. That's fine. I understand he wasn't for everyone. For me, he was perfect. I liked the fact that he was a tortured soul, and honestly, a Batman that's been through 20 more years of bullshit. And he was kind of right. And the fact that I'm a huge Dark Knight Returns comic fan, yeah, I mean, it makes sense why Ben Affleck's Batman would be my favorite. And why I want to see his story continue, because I think he had a real great, we've always seen Batman in his prime and the perfect example of what it is to be just and good. And the fact that Ben Affleck's Batman was flawed made him more interesting to me, and the reason why I wanted to see that full character arc realized. So that's why I'm a huge fan of Ben Affleck's Batman. And plus, I mean, you could say maybe it was because of Zack Snyder's Justice League and BVS that I was seeing elements of Justice League Unlimited show, Kevin Conroy's Batman with Ben Affleck's Batman. So to me, it was like, oh man, yes, I feel like a kid again watching this stuff. So Jeff Loeb is some good stuff. The Batman is the Jon Snow of DC movies. From what was known in season 1, Jon Snow was created through bad circumstances. Ned being unfaithful, some with the Batman bad circumstances. Yeah. But not the Batman's fault. And Tim Sale's great. Zod Rider, my man, congrats. I know I said this to you a couple of weeks ago when you passed 1,000 subscribers. I'm still so happy for you. And I know you've been getting like BS for it. I saw that some people were like trying to say to you, like you were buying subs and stuff, like so stupid. I'm sure there's some people who do it. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me, because what's the point of having subscribers, especially bot subscribers, if they don't watch your content to give you watch time hours? Because really watch time hours and subs is what helps, and likes and stuff like that. But like, never makes sense to me why people are so quick to jump on that stuff. And who cares at that point? Like, I don't focus on you, like do your own thing. But it's always good to see you, Zod. I love you, man. Can't wait to do a show with you in 2 weeks, I think. Baby girl, how's it going? Zachary says, Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb did the writing and the art to Batman Haunted Knight. Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's going to be pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of Tim Sale's artwork. It's great, right? It's original. Like when you see Tim Sale's artwork, instantly it's Tim Sale's. It's just not my cup of tea, but I mean, Tim Sale's a goat. I'm not new. I subscribe to you around Zack Snyder's Justice League soundtrack reaction and Batman reaction. I can't remember. Without BVS, I would not love Batman. I follow you on Twitter. Dude, the soundtrack reactions, that was a good while ago, man. That was such a fun video. I need to do more soundtrack reactions. As you guys know, I'm a big music nut. So to me, that's a passion I have. Larry Holmes, damn, you got me, Trey. Mark Strong would be a good Mr. Freeze. I just looked up some fan artwork and he looks very close to the 90s Batman animated show, Mr. Freeze. Yeah, I saw it too, and I was like, yeah, that's a good way to go. What are your expectations for the Flash panel, Trey? Not great at the moment. I mean, I'm just not sure when it comes to the Flash. The Flash is very hit or miss with me. There's things I've heard, and it's like that's not a good sign. I have some issues with the Flash movie not really being a Flash movie, but Flash into the Batman verse movie. I mean, I'm stoked to see Michael Keaton and more importantly Ben Affleck back. I mean, hopefully we see those two together, which according to Mikey's son with Geekosity over at Sil Abdul show, that is happening. They are gonna go face to face with each other, and I think that's dope. I can't wait. I mean, the Batman portion I'm excited for, but then when I look at Ezra, it's like, is anyone excited to see Ezra in this film as Barry Allen? Like, no, everyone's like, yes, Michael Keaton and Sasha Calle as Batgirl, Ben Affleck, what's that all about? And the possibility that Henry Cavill may show up as Superman. Like, I don't know. It's all crazy. It's all about watchers. Yep. I'm glad people accused of Zod of buying subs. It led to a really funny video that Zod writer plays on his show. I'm sure I need to check it out. I understand. I got you. Yeah. Exposed video. What's up, Batan? All right. No Billy Cudrop, Evil Barry instead of Reverse Flash, Keen wiping the floor with Batfleck. My issues with the Flash movie and why I don't want it in the Snyderverse. Yeah, I heard about that too. With I think that was Mikey Sutton who also said Keaton would beat up Ben Affleck's Batman. I'll have to see how they do it. If they really do that, I'm always kind of the person that I don't want to make an assumption of how I'm not going to like this movie or how I'm going to like it. I kind of want to go in not exactly sure of what's going to happen and see how they play it to give it a fair shot. But even I'm kind of speculating why. And to me, that can't be great. Igor, my man, how's it been, brother? It's always good to see you, Igor. Lots of goofy BS rumored for the Flash. Yeah, there is a ton of weird stuff going on for the Flash that I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work out. The Flash has me worried. To me, it's either going to be a great movie or it's going to be complete utter trash. Could be one of the worst movies, but we'll see. Anyways, Matt Reeves released a new photo for the Batman as we're preparing for DC FanDome this Saturday, and I posted this on Twitter, retweeted it, and he said, "Good morning from Gotham City. Can't wait to show you more at DC FanDome this Saturday. The Batman trailer shot." So we will see what this is about in the trailer. I posted it on Twitter, and it like blew up my Twitter because people were like arguing the fact that Batman is out in the sun, and it's like, really? Like that's like the issues we have with this is like, oh, Batman should be out in daylight. That's complete trash. And it's like, he was out in the sunlight in Dark Knight Rises. Like, let's just wait until we see the thing. It was literally like almost like 30 tweets in a row of just people just arguing of how stupid or, how you're wrong about Batman being in the light. And it's like, I don't understand what's the issue here. It's just I get it. Batman usually comes out at night, but I mean, it kind of looks like the sun is going down anyway. So maybe Batman's just getting ready for the night. I don't know. Does it really matter though? I mean, like, let's just wait until we see what it's about. How many times do you see a shot in a trailer that's not actually in the movie? It's kind of silly reasons why people fight on Twitter, especially. Batfleck should not job to Keaton. I think like lose to Keaton, I think is what you're saying, Lucas. I agree. I get like what they're trying to say by that. Like, hey, Keaton's the old guy, he's going to have, the smarts to take out Batfleck. But then again, when you look at Batfleck could break Tom Hardy's Bane like a toothpick, Mr. Self-Destruct, man, we're getting some new people on here. I really appreciate it. Mr. Self-Destruct, what's up, man? Glad to have you here. Hey man, saw you on DCU Restore the Snyderverse live stream a couple of weeks ago and really dig your viewpoint, popping in for a hangout for a bit. Thank you, sir. Yeah, no, that was a very fun stream to do with those guys. We had talked about doing it for months, and finally our schedules just worked out to where I could join them for a little bit. And I think the world of those guys. I think the fact that they do every live stream and have a donation set up for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is phenomenal, which we're doing. We've done that in the past too. I think we've raised almost $500 for AFSP and $250 for Feeding America. We're going to do the same this Saturday for our DC Fandom watch party on YouTube here. We're going to start 15 minutes before DC Fandom, and every super chat goes to American Foundation for Suicide Prevention in honor of Autumn Snyder, but also I think last weekend it was a Mental Health Awareness Day internationally. So good timing. It's always a great cause to help people. But I appreciate you being here. Thank you, sir. Ryan says, I'm going to be cautious optimistic because of the multiverse for the DC, because I will keep my expectations low. I think it's always good to kind of have your expectations low when it comes to comic book movies, I think, because, well, perfect example, the way Venom 2 worked out for me. I had a huge, high expectation for Carnage of what I wanted to see. Didn't come anywhere close. And I left that theater being like, they screwed up Carnage, maybe it's just good to have low expectations sometimes and kind of decide from there. If it's close to your low expectations, and I mean, when you go to the movies, you should enjoy the movie, right? You're paying good, hard money to see it. So I hope you enjoy it. Kubi Max says, so the Flash could be called a supporting character in his own movie. Yes. Yes, unfortunately. Zod Rider says exactly, has potential to be next level trash. Yeah. Yeah, it really does, unfortunately. I think Zod has been calling it Trash Point. That's a great nickname. I hope it's not, because really, I mean, God, you guys have heard me talk about the Flash movie. There's a lot of things that I'm not happy about, like the fact that it's supposed to be based on the Flashpoint comics. There's a moment, one of my favorite all-time moments in the comics, Flashpoint, when Flash hands the letter from Thomas Wayne to Bruce Wayne. That whole storyline with Thomas Wayne, and they're not doing Thomas Wayne. Michael Keaton has taken the place as Thomas Wayne. And to me, it's like ruined already. So I have to take out of my mind that it's really not a Flashpoint adaptation or live action adaptation of that book. It's taking elements of it, which is fine. That's what movies do, right? They take inspirations, but it's never fully that thing. But it's still kind of like missed opportunity in my mind. That photo looks meh, in my opinion. What bugs you about it, baby girl? Out of curiosity. Just curious. To me, I have no problem with it. I'm not overly crazy about it. I'm not like, it's trash. I mean, to me, it's a silhouette of Batman. Typical Batman. This is a typical Batman picture. So in my opinion, Bat in the sun. Great. I thought the same thing when I saw like Bat in the sun. Like, Zachary, did you about the new crossover on the CW? I haven't been watching any of CW just because it's gotten so bad in the last couple of years. So I have no idea what's going on in the CW verse at all. Batman says, it's early morning and I'm pretty sure people won't see him for more than a second, right? And even if they did, I mean, I almost wondered, there was a picture that was released that everyone thought was fake, but based off the lighting of it, I'm wondering if it was actually a real photo that was leaked early where Batman's, Battinson is in the sunlight. It kind of looks, based off the shading of the sun too, it kind of looks like this very well could be. I don't know. Yeah. Did you see crossover event on the CW? No, I didn't, Zach. Babe girl, any species of daybats? Another species of daybats? What? Huh? I'm out of here, bro. I'll definitely check out your DC Fandom stream, brother. Peace. See you later, Larry. Thank you so much for being here, man. It's great seeing you here, bro. Ryan says he's not a vampire. He's not sparkling this round. Or maybe he is. He could, I mean, it's like latex with his suit. It's old Adam West style with no nose cover. If he does sparkle, I'm out of the theater. That's the moment I'll just be throwing my popcorn all over people and be like, this. Obviously that won't happen. As Writer said, everybody complained about him being out in the sun in Dark Knight Rises 2. Batman should never be out during the day. It is kind of a character betrayal overall. I I don't think so. I mean, they even kind of did that though recently in the new comics, Zod, with Joker's War. They did this whole futuristic thing where Batman was out in the sunlight. So I mean, it's not uncommon for Batman. I hear what you're saying, and I completely get it. I mean, it to me, it's just one of those things like what happens when Ben Affleck's Batman has to fight Darkseid, in that whole war scene. They do a lot of epic war battles in daytime because then you can see the characters and stuff like that easier. For movies, it's really hard to do lighting on those characters when you don't have the sun for CGI. So just like with Lord of the Rings, when they had that big battle scene at the at the day at Gondor and stuff like that. So I don't know. To me, I don't have an issue so much to it. And I mean, it also kind of makes sense. I mean, who knows? I mean, it really depends on what's going on in the story here. If Batman just is hanging out on a lawn chair with a martini in his hand, just enjoying the sunset, then yeah, I'm gonna have an issue. But if it's like daytime is going down and he's just coming out of his tower again ready, I don't know. It really kind of depends. I hear what you're saying though. I do understand. Called Armageddon. I don't know. What's up, Zonrider? See. I'm upset that Jeffrey D. Morgan and Lauren Cohen is not in the movie. I agree. Like I said, a missed opportunity for sure. That's really unfortunate. Batman says, I enjoyed Wonder Woman 1984. Even though on rewatches, I realized it wasn't as good as I thought the first time. I would never take that first time experience away. I think, what my issue probably was with Wonder Woman 1984, Batman. I watched the first Wonder Woman literally right before it, and then it came available on HBO Max, and we went straight through from the first Wonder Woman movie, which was clearly a way better film. So when you have that high expectation of like, this is how good Wonder Woman can be, and then you go to Wonder Woman 1984, you're like, why? It's kind of like you can see the differences in storytelling and cinematography and style very clear when you watch them back to back. Babe Girl says, just doesn't hype me any when I first looked at it. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I don't think it's meant to, I mean, to me, I get excited because, hey, it's Batman, right? But I mean, it's nothing like, oh my God, like if it was a video clip of Batman beating the shit out of someone, then yeah, then I'm hyped, like they did with that little bat signal thing that if you guys haven't seen it yet, I know I played it.
It's not just a signal, it's a warning.
Yeah, that got me hyped. That right there, I was like, yes, I'm excited for Batman. I think it was gonna be good. Let's see. Zachary says, I need show you my latest picture with John Wesley Shipp and autographs from John Glover and Alan Richardson. I'll have to check those out. Batman, they are Justice League animated series episodes where it's out in the sun. Exactly. Yeah, another great point. Like Batman was constantly out during the daytime, in the animated series. So I guess for me, that's also why I'm used to seeing Batman out in the sun. I agree. It makes more sense for Batman to be out at night. Otherwise, his whole stealth tactics doesn't really work. But it doesn't bug me if he's doing it for the right reasons in the story of the movie. Then I don't have a problem with it. Batman only comes out during the day under special circumstances. Sometimes it's appropriate, but isn't supposed to happen a lot. This is why people have issues with it being overused. I don't think it has been overused, though. I mean, I don't think it was overused in Dark Knight Rises. I mean, that was the final battle. Batman kind of needed to come out during the daytime, Otherwise, I mean, does Batman just sit there when Bane is taking over the city? Like, I guess I'll wait. Where I gotta wait 5 more hours. Wait, one moment. Don't blow up the bomb until it's night. What? Yeah, it depends on the story for me. What's up, Jesse? Sorry, I didn't say hello to you. It's good to see you here, Jesse. It's been a while, brother. I think a week. When I say it's been a while, it's been a week since I last talked to you. Wonder Woman 1984 made me realize how easily a character's legacy can be pissed away. Amen. Amen, Zod. Oh, my. The first one had Zach and the second one didn't, so I knew it was never going to be as good. Yeah, it's still really no excuse, though. Patty should have known. I think she put too much trust into Jeff Johns' writing, and I have some serious doubts about what made Wonder Woman so great in the first movie. I think Patty maybe doesn't understand Wonder Woman. I think she understands a piece of her that's very important to Wonder Woman's character. I think she understands the compassion that Wonder Woman absolutely should be. And she nails those moments of Wonder Woman in the eyes of, as a female role model. Absolutely. But I think when I heard in that interview when Patty was like, it's too aggressive for Wonder Woman to have a sword and a shield. Well, then it's like, she's a warrior princess. To me, I have red flags about that. I couldn't get through 20 minutes of Wonder Woman 1984. Yeah, the first like 15 minutes were great, the whole Amazon thing, but as soon as they went to the mall thing, I was like, this movie sucks. I'm excited for the new Batman, but also bitter because it replaces Affleck film, which I would have preferred more. I totally agree with you. That's where I say it's a bittersweet movie. Like, I'm a Batman fan. I'm excited for the Batman movie, but there will always be a portion of me that would know that this should have been Ben Affleck's movie. We should have saw Deathstroke. We should have saw this incredible, story arc with Ben even further. But I think Matt Reeves is going to do a great job. And I still have hope for Ben Affleck's Batman movie that HBO Max could take it over. It's frustrating knowing that we've gotten the Batman to this. We would have gotten the Batman this month. Oh gosh, would it have been this month? Would it have been October? Oh, you're talking about originally the original release day of 2021 for Matt Reeves? Because I want to say Ben Affleck's was a summer release originally. Could you imagine Joker being like, from now on, I will only do crimes during the daytime so Batman will not come after me? Probably. Mr. Self-Destruct. I love the first Wonder Woman movie and hated literally everything about the second one. The tone, the story, the characters, and the terrible resurrection of don't get me started on this, Steve Trevor. And to me, like, see, look what you did. Now you got me started on it. Here's what I'm going to say about that bullshit. There was no reason to resurrect Steve Trevor in such a creepy way. It's a wish stone. It can bring back someone just because it's freaking magic. If it takes something away from her, why does it take that dude's life over? And essentially, if we're going to be fully honest, she practically raped a dude. Kind of, I'm sure the dude wouldn't mind. It's Gal Gadot, but like, I mean, if it was me, I probably shouldn't say this. My Wonder Wife would kick my ass. She can have Jason Momoa. I'm just kidding. That's all I'll say. Well, according to Mikey, Patty was bigger blame to Wonder Woman 1984 than Jeff Johns. Yeah, I did hear Mikey say that, and I think it goes hand in hand. I think while yes, that wasn't typical of Jeff Johns' writing, I think he also was aware that they wanted to change the tone and style of Wonder Woman drastically from Zack Snyder's. That he compromised the character in the writing, and Patty just went for completely contrasting the character. Patty had ample time to take Wonder Woman 1984 to make Wonder Woman 1984 a masterpiece. If she was a competent filmmaker who understands the character's mythology, it should have been great with or without Snyder's involvement. And that's where I say, like, I mean, there's great DC films without Zack Snyder, and for all my Zack Snyder fans, I am a huge Zack Snyder fan. I often realize that I was a huge fan of Zack Snyder's before I even realized it was Zack Snyder's movie. I loved 300. I didn't even know who the director was. I loved Watchmen. I loved Man of Steel. I loved Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead was the first movie that got me interested in the zombie world to get into Walking Dead. So I like his style. I like what he does. I like how he tells stories. I like cinematically how he tells that story. But other people can tell great stories, and Zach isn't the only one. But I agree with you, Zod, that yeah, Patty did not do herself any justice with Wonder Woman 1984. And I would love if there was a lot of behind the scenes shots of her talking about the story and maybe a commentary over the thing to kind of understand the decisions she made. I think there were the wrong choices. So I do have to put it, I do blame her and Jeff Johns for how I perceived Wonder Woman 1984. I don't think it was a great movie when it could have been. But I also don't blame her fully because I think the studio really pushed her to get away from anything Zack related, Snyderverse related. Zachary said, "Did you read the first 3 issues of Batman 89? I haven't. I need to go to my guys at Hall of Justice Comics here in Colorado. Like, I need to stop by and pick them up." John's probably like, "Dude, where's your pull, man? Your boxes stacking up." I order so many Batman comics. Literally, if it has Batman in the name or on the cover, my comic book guy at Hall of Justice just puts it in my bin for me, and then I show up and come pick it up. So John, you're amazing. I appreciate everything you do. I will be in soon to pick up my comics. Check out I don't get paid to do this. I literally do this because if it wasn't for John at Hall of Justice, I wouldn't be the crazy Batman nut. I was a crazy cinematic Batman nut, but I didn't have shit to back it up with because I didn't know the comics until around BVS time. If it wasn't for Hall of Justice here in Colorado, comics and collectibles, I wouldn't be the crazy Batman nut that I am that you see on this channel. So I give a lot of props to Hall of Justice, and I like to support them because I like to support my local comic book shops. They do a live stream sale every Thursday, I believe from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Mountain time. And you can find them on Facebook. They do it all through there. Say hello to me. I'm usually on listening to them, other than I'm on a stream right now while they were doing their show. But John, if you're watching, dude, I love you. I will be in to pick up my comics soon. Yes, the original release for the Batman was for this month. Oh, that's hurtful. I agree with Jesse on my only issue is I would be more hyped for the Batman if it didn't exist in the shadow of Ben Affleck's perfect portrayal. Yeah, I completely understand. I'm the same way. Like bittersweet when it comes to the Batman. I think I just have faith, Alfred, faith that we will get Ben Affleck's Batman soon. I think it's IP they don't want to pass up. Fingers crossed for Ayer cut surprise announcement on the weekend. I know we're going to do our live show watch party, so join us, Jesse, this Saturday. I'm watching it partly to get hyped with you guys right then and there, so we can celebrate together. If it's true, my feelings exactly. God, man, you guys, for the first time, I feel like I can't keep up with you guys on all the comments. Did you see the Wonder Woman 1984 hissy wearing the body of Steve's guy was screaming, I consent, I consent. No, I haven't. I'll have to. I did watch the is it Screen Rant who does the pitch meetings? I do find his funny. Jason, do you already know if the Erica is being nuts? Don't you? I hope it is. I'm not sure it is though, Zod. We hear from Mikey. He's confident it will get released. He's not confident at DC fandom because of the regime. Right, Jay said it was the greatest Batman script to ever exist. Let's hope that we still get to see it down the line. # make the Batfleck movie. Hell yeah, they have a big event coming up. Okay, so let's get back to our show real quick. I know I'm trying to get to all you guys' comments, and you guys have some great stuff. But I know it's a work night, so let's get through. The Suicide Squad, because I also see you guys kind of talking about it already. Is it coming? Oh, whoops! It would be helpful if you could see the actual slide. The Suicide Squad, the Ayer cut, is it coming? What do you guys think in the comments? I've seen Zod kind of say, yeah, dude, DC fandom, they're going to announce it. I hear you guys kind of being hopeful about it, which is great. I'm hopeful too. But Corey and I, you've heard Corey and Super Bro Corey and I kind of flip back and forth with, is the Ayer cut going to get released? Corey doesn't think it will get released at all. Not at all, but he doesn't think it'll be announced at DC fandom. And I originally was like, yeah, it's going to be released at DC fandom. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, my phone was going off. I thought it was going to be, released at DC fandom. I was originally doubtful about that, but now something's kind of changing my mind about that. Sorry, my dadpool keeps calling me. Dadpool keeps calling to probably tell me about stuff that's going on up in Wyoming. Um, so as I'm thinking here, with David Ayer's Suicide Squad on a official Warner Brothers page, Warner Brothers Classic Films, they posted this picture with Slipknot from the Suicide Squad film in 2016. And it says, raise your hand if you wanted more of Adam Beach as Slipknot in Suicide Squad. Hashtag Indigenous Peoples Day, hashtag Suicide Squad, hashtag Monday Thoughts. Now, you look at that and you're like, yeah, cool. Sounds good. And then, geez, I wonder why. Hold on a second. Guys, let me pause this real quick because my dad has called me 3 times. Something is up. One moment. Sorry. Dadpool right there. He's literally calling me, let me know what's going on, like who's coming home, like, and stuff like that. It's always great when you have people communicate with you about what's going on. He's just like, Dad, I bought the live show, and he's just like, oh shit, sorry. Like, I guess my dad doesn't support me. He's not watching the show. I'm just kidding. Thank you guys so much for waiting and sticking around real quick. I know that it was very unprofessional of me, but when your parents call 3 times in a row, something's usually up. But Warner Brothers Classic Films, raise your hand if you wanted more of Adam Beach. Yeah, sorry, I already read that. I lost my place. But here's what's interesting about this official Warner Brothers Classic film. I'm sure you guys have maybe heard about this. Down in the bottom right corner, it says copyrighted 2021 WBEI, Warner Brothers. This is really interesting because, one, this would be copyrighted all the way back in 2016. Why is it copyrighted in 2021? I don't know. As we've kind of seen from David Ayer, we've seen him post a lot recently, kind of leaving hints. If you want to call it hints, you could say, Trey, that has nothing to do what he's doing on his Instagram stories, but he's kind of posting things that make people think, why did he post that? But more importantly, I think it's the group of little nuggets that we're getting here and there that are starting to make me think we're going to get an announcement very soon. I'm still not sure it's going to be at DC FanDome. I hope it is. If they're smart, if Warner Brothers smart, which you know how I feel about them, they're not smart. If they're smart though, and actually care about money, they'll announce it at DC FanDome because there's no better time to announce it. But the reason why I think it could be announced at DC FanDome is we're seeing a lot of different nuggets of proof that something is going on with Ayer cut. One of those being at the Suicide Squad movie's premiere. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Variety asked every cast member, do you think they should release the Ayer cut? And they all had an answer for it. Meaning they were ready for it. They were prepared. The actors were ready to get this answer, this question. Why do that? If Warner Brothers did not tell them, hey, this is what's going on, don't let anything up. But all of the actors, with the exception of Margot Robbie, she played it very political safe, kind of like Henry Cavill used to do with the Snyder cut. The rest of the cast was like, do it, release it. Remember when it was like such a shady thing for the Snyder cut fans when, Ben Affleck came out and like Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa and Ray Fisher and Ray Porter were all like, yeah, release a Snyder cut. And it was like, ooh, are they going to be in trouble for this? And yet the cast for the Suicide Squad film were instantly like, oh yeah, release it. Release the Ayer cut. Do it. Why not? Doesn't affect us. It's kind of weird. So you're seeing this. You're seeing David Ayer being more vocal about the Ayer cut, talking about all the different things. HBO Max needs content. It wouldn't cost as much as the Snyder cut did. And then you get this picture that says copyrighted 2021 when it should be 2016. Why would they re-copyright something if it wasn't planned for release? Curious. Let's see what you guys think. What's going on in the chat about your guys' thoughts here? Zodrayer says, I think Ayer cut will come out after the merger. I think so too. I'm 50-50 with it. Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure. The hope in me wants to. I just think Warner Brothers are idiots. But we'll find out together at our watch party this Saturday. So are you not going to be able to show everything for DC FanDome? We're basically going to kind of have what you see here now, like where I have like a PowerPoint. I'll try to label different panels that we're on, but I probably won't show DC FanDome on our page simply because it's happened to me before where Warner Brothers can come on, like cancel your stream because you're showing content of theirs or copyrighted content. So we'll literally just, it's basically the watch party. We're raising money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, all in our super chats that day. Bat Dan and I are going to be having wonderful discussions. I'm hoping to get a few other people on for it as we're going about it. And I'll cut the videos down eventually to do our normal reaction videos that you see on our channel. But yeah, we won't show it simply for copyright issues that I don't want them taking down our stream, and wasting the fun that we're having. So it's basically we're reacting together and having a discussion in the super chat like we are now in super chat. Sorry, chat. Then we just got more Batman. If we get Ben Affleck's Batman project anyways, then we just got more Batman projects as a result. Agreed. Bad Dan says, yes, it's coming from DC FanDomes. The announcement, Mikey's confident went up today for this weekend. Yeah, I when he was acting a little more confident today, that gave me some hope, but he's not afraid to just be like, bam, here it is. Like, it's happening. It's doing this. And he still kind of gave his like, it's definitely happening, but maybe. He's like, the only reason why it won't happen is if Warner Brothers regime, the leadership within Warner Media don't allow it, which they're idiots. So yeah, that seems likely. I'm hopeful that we will get it, but with Warner Brothers track record, I really have no clue. I'm the same way, Mr. Self-Destruct. Baby Girl says, it won't be announced at FanDome, but I do see it being announced next year. Yeah, I think Zod and you are you could very well be right that it won't be announced until David Zaslav. The only reason why I think the regime right now could possibly announce it at DC FanDome is because I think they're going to try to save their jobs. When David Zaslav gets in, he's going to be cleaning house. But if some of those people like Jason Killar can convince David Zaslav, like, look, I helped release the Snyder cut. He did a shitty job at it, but but I also did the Ayer cut, maybe, just maybe David Zaslav says, hey, I have a job for you. You can be my coffee boy. We got to get Discovery, have to do it. Yeah, keep the trending. I don't see, some people are like, it's toxic if hashtag restore the Snyderverse, hashtag release the Ayer cut trends on Saturday. I don't see a problem with it. As long as you're being respectful, you're not harassing anybody, and you're telling the company what you want. As a consumer, I want this product. Please, this is what I'm interested in. This is what I'm willing to pay you money for. Wouldn't you want that if you were a business, to have your consumer directly tell you this is what we're looking for? I don't see an issue with it. I agree, baby girl. Suck it, Warner Brothers. I appreciate you answering. Dadpool, see? The images from Ayer lately look like screen grabs taken direct from the source. True, yeah, he released a few photos recently from the Ayer cut that we haven't seen before that. Once again, little nuggets, right, that he's given us to tell us, hey, something's going on. Sorry about the interruption, Bat Channel fans. You should be sorry, Dadpool. You should be sorry. They might want to keep their jobs when the merger happens, so throwing out Ayer cut would be a smart move and help the Suicide Squad sale with home releases. I agree. Has anyone, I mean, the Suicide Squad is available right now for sale. I don't see it in the top 10 list for Amazon of sales. I see Zack Snyder's Justice League. I do not know why. It hints, but I can't see Emmerich mentioning the Ayer cut at FanDome. Emmerich won't even be at DC FanDome, so don't worry about that. At least I haven't heard he's going to be. He wasn't at last year's DC FanDome. I can't imagine he'll be this year either. If anyone, the one person that you'll probably see that we don't care for is Hamada and Jeff Johns, probably. Dadpool throwing up the bat signal. I know when Dadpool throws up the bat signal, I gotta answer. You know me, light the bat signal, and I will answer the call. I think fallout from the upcoming merger is already putting the pieces in place. If Ayer cut gets announced at FanDome, it's because the new regime is getting everything ready. Yeah, and that's why I say it's possible that some things they're not going to want the Ayer cut to compete with anything. So I think if they try to release it early 2022, well, then you're competing with the Batman, and I'm guessing they're going to try to build all their hype into the Batman. So I think, I mean, Mikey Sutton said they possibly could release the Ayer cut at on Christmas Day. He did say one crazy theory that like they would release it after DC FanDome. I don't see that being the case, simply because if they do that, I kind of take that as disingenuous from Warner Brothers, because they didn't spend any money on marketing to help the Ayer cut out. You know, while I think it'd be a big explosion trending day, they're not going to want the Ayer cut to hype over the Batman, over Black Adam, over the products they have coming in the future that they need to make money on. You know, I see it more if they're going to release it and announce that at DC FanDome, it's going to be it's probably going to be, honestly, kind of a subtle thing. Warner Brothers sucks. Oh my God, Dadpool, he's at it again. I'll gladly join you Saturday, Trey. I like that, son. It'd be good to see you here, man. AT&T should just put their food down against Warner Brothers stopping the Ayer cut. Oh, their foot down. Sorry, food. What am I talking? I need a drink. Get the brain cells working. Little Paul says, cannot wait for the surge of the new content from fans and YouTube. We finally get new things to talk about. I know, right? We're just kind of picking little things to get excited about. Like, oh, the Batman trailer is going to be 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. Oh, it'll be nice to actually break down the Batman. Hopefully we get another riddle or two to kind of analyze and see if we can figure out what it means. I'm excited for Black Adam. I think it's gonna be great. A thorough clean disinfecting is required. Comic Book Craig movies. It's been a while, bro. Good to see you, man. He's doing exactly like what Snyder did, teasing. I wonder why that pick has 2021 in the corner, though. I wonder as well. It's nice to know that the red bat phone still works. Hello? No one. Every now and then a superhero calls me from there, but not often. Mikey Sun debunked that Christmas and DC FanDome theory. Did he debunk it? I wasn't sure if he was saying that it's possible it could happen like this, or maybe I missed the rest of the show that when I was preparing for mine. I heard him talk about it and I was like, that's kind of a crazy theory. But interesting nonetheless. Yeah, I don't know though, guys. Like with the Ayer cut, I without question believe it's going to be released. There's no reason not to release it right now. As we've kind of heard, even I believe this with Mikey, and I've kind of said it, I think even a little bit before too, where when the Suicide Squad movie first came out and we did our spoiler review, I said this during our video. I was like, they need to release the Ayer cut because this movie failed in the box office. Birds of Prey failed in the box office. They need this Suicide Squad IP, something to hype that back up so people can see it again. Will Smith was in this movie, and personally, I didn't like the story. I know some people did. Steve loved the story, but Steve and I have had that conversation. I'm going to watch it again to see if I can see what he was talking about. Who knows? But all in all, I didn't like the Suicide Squad film. We'll see if it changes anything once I watch it again. But the Ayer cut, that's going to be badass. I mean, of course it's going to be badass. It's not going to be chopped up. It's going to be a smooth story. You're going to see extra scenes with Batfleck, Joker, Deadshot and Harley Quinn, and Steppenwolf in the movie. So yeah, it's going to be a better movie without question already. I think once you get that, people are going to be demanding, oh, well, man, bring Deadshot back, do something with him, just like kind of Mikey Sutton has been saying and stuff like that. So Ayer cut, they need it. It's not going to cost as much as the Snyder cut. It's not going to cost $70 million, maybe cost 10 to 20 million, because David Ayer said there is some visual effects that need to be put in place. Because if you know anything about movies, when they know they're not going to have a certain scene in the film, they don't finish the CGI in it, because CGI costs so much money. So they just kind of scrap it and move on, or maybe a basic model that's really not smooth. It doesn't have texture to it or anything like that. So he would probably have to go in and include Steppenwolf, things like that. So it's possible, I mean, to do it really cheap. HBO Max needs content. It's going to blow up on HBO Max. It will. The Ayer cut is a completed film just waiting to be released. It will probably be a low-key, downplayed affair, but it's definitely comes down. I don't think it's a completed film, Zod. From what I've heard from David Ayer on the few times he's talked about it, he had said basically it was completed, but there is a tweet where he says some minor visual effects would need to be implemented. But it's pretty damn close to being ready to go. Probably it take him a couple of months of getting the team together to do CGI stuff and done. Let's see. Songwriter agreed. Is that Batphone, or is it for Die? That is the Tick reference. I don't. It is the Batphone from Adam West. Yeah, from the Adam West series that they used to use, that I have back here. Yeah. It's one of the first things I added when I told my dad. I was like, Dad, I want to do a YouTube channel and I'm going to get a bat phone. He's like, what's it for? I don't know. I just want a prop. Is Steppenwolf in the movie? I thought they never filmed it. Well, I saw some concept art that said Steppenwolf was in it. That's the part I'm a little bit confused about too, baby girl. I'm not sure if Steppenwolf was actually in the film, or if it was the original idea to have him in the film and they just never did that. Because even Zack Snyder said it's going to be hard to have Steppenwolf in that film if he's in our film, meaning Justice League. So I'm curious to see what that means exactly. I was under the impression, though, that Steppenwolf is in the film. 95% completed, basic. Yeah, 95%. It's pretty damn close. Ayer wouldn't do any additional filming, unlike Zack Snyder. Yeah, agree. He wouldn't do adding Steppenwolf. They never filmed Steppenwolf. Okay, yeah, I didn't think they did. Steppenwolf is in the novelization of Suicide Squad. I haven't read the novelization. Zod, do you have the novelization of Suicide Squad? You and I are going to have to talk about this. We're going to have a discussion a little later, you and I, or maybe on Saturday when you're on our watch party. But yeah, guys, I think the Ayer cut is happening. Is it going to be announced at DC FanDome? I wouldn't hold our breath. I'm not that confident in it. But if they do release it, then I would say the restore the Snyderverse is all the more likely. If Warner Brothers wised up simply with the Ayer cut, I'm not saying let those people keep their jobs like Emmerich and Sarnoff and Jason Killer and Walter Hamada. I'm not saying they can keep their job. I'm simply saying if they wised up just enough to realize that their days are numbered and they release the Ayer cut, they announce it, I'm having a good feeling about Restore the Snyderverse then when Discovery gets in. I definitely am. So this Saturday, hashtag Restore the Snyderverse, hashtag release the Ayer cut, trend it up, be excited, try to be respectful. If you're not happy that DC FanDome didn't announce something, let them know in a respectful manner, like tweet about saying like, hey, I really want to see the Ayer cut. Can you please announce it? Please make the Batfleck movie. Please, apologize to Ray Fisher to come back for Cyborg in the Flash movie. Because that is a big deal to me still about the Flash movie that I'm still having trouble accepting. They need to bring Ray Fisher back as Cyborg. It's just something that it just needs to happen. They made Cyborg such a big deal in that CW crossover. It's one of the things Ezra says in his little cameo where he's like, oh man, I gotta tell Victor about this, or something like Victor won't believe me, or I told Victor it was possible. It was something like that. Nonetheless, he mentions Victor, which means he really values Victor's opinion, great friend of his. So they need to bring Ray Fisher back as Cyborg. They need to fix that situation without question. But after that, Sunday, I think it's Sunday, October 24th, the Make the Batfleck movie team has their trending event. They're going for 200,000 tweets that day, which should be easy. They have a record of 150,000. They're trying to raise money for their billboard trucks that they did recently with like the Restore the Snyderverse people. They're doing one for the Batfleck team. You can go on their Twitter page, I believe, at Batfleck Movie, to help raise on their GoFundMe account. I think they're pretty damn close to reaching it too. So if you can support them with that to help spread the word about the Batfleck movie, because I want to see it and I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be great. But Erica, guys, it's near. It's nigh. It's going to happen. It has to. So please make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe and help us get to 2K. We always appreciate it. And more importantly, if you guys haven't already yet, please set your reminders for this Saturday, the watch party. We're going to be having Batman. We're going to have Zodrider, hopefully a few more people that I'm going to reach out to. There's one person I'm trying to see if they have their equipment up and running that we can get them back on, because I would love to have her on our show. But it's going to be a really cool watch party, guys. We're going to start 15 minutes before DC FanDome starts here on YouTube. You can set your reminders now. Every super chat dollar that we get that day, we're going to push it back to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, honor Von Snyder. To me, it's just an important thing. We've done it before. I think we've raised about $500 for the AFSP and about $250 for Feeding America with the Batfleck team. So hopefully we're also going to planning on having the Batfleck team back on our show fairly soon here. So definitely join us for that watch party. We're going to celebrate together. We're going to cry together if we don't hear about David Ayer's Suicide Squad. And we're going to be pissed off if we see something with a Flash movie that just looks absolutely dumb, like some super Kryptonian and two idiots that Andy Muschietti has said. So definitely join us for that. Let's check in. I think you guys have put in a few more here. The novelization of Suicide Squad based off Ayer's original script. Yeah, okay. Well, here we go again. The cut exists. I can tell you my sources, who is my father's cousin's sister's former roommate. I've said it, doesn't it? That there are watermelons in the bag, but there are also apples in the bag. Oh man, it's still available digitally on Amazon. I purchased it a couple of months ago and read it on my tablet. I think it's like $7. I'll have to check that out. I told Victor that was possible. Oh, thank you, Batman. See, you got my back, man. I appreciate it, Matt. I bet Cyborg will be mentioned in the film. Though, if they mention Cyborg in the Flash movie, that's not good enough. That is not good enough. Dadpool, would flying a banner plane over the studios with a banner that says Warner Brothers, we blow, be respectful enough? Oh my God. Dad, using our old tactics, and making a mockery of it, man. I agree, just a night and day against the theatrical cut. Yeah. So epic. I'll be there. Sweet. Looking forward to it, little Paul. Supergirl and two idiots. Yeah. I hope that was just a joke. I mean, Andy Muschietti is kind of a comical guy. Yes. Hashtag make Man of Steel 2, or I've heard also hashtag make Man of Tomorrow. Absolutely, guys. I am all for the Snyderverse. To me, the dumb part about Warner Brothers is they call it a multiverse. Well, if it's a multiverse, then the Snyderverse exists. The Snyderverse can continue. And right now it feels like in Warner Brothers' eyes, it's a multiverse except the Snyderverse, which it needs to be. everything, right? Everything can exist. It's the more content, the more money, right? I mean, people love DC. Give it to us. It's really as simple as that. But guys, I just want to say thank you so much. I know we kind of had a quick last minute live show. Thank you for sticking around with us for 2 hours. I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to this Saturday. Saturday is going to be a hell of a good time. I'm excited to have our panel to just experience everything with you guys. So make sure you guys set your reminders. If you haven't already, like, share this video, subscribe, share the reminder for the watch party on Saturday. Get your friends, because I always say the more people that are in our live chats, the more fun we have. And not only that, the more money we're going to be able to raise for AFSP that day. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Keep being nice to each other. Do all the good stuff on Saturday. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag release the Ayer cut. The next weekend we'll do hashtag make the Batfleck movie. It's going to be a damn good day, and I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to tune in weekly. Same bat time. Same bat channel. See you later, guys. Have a good one.